Once upon a time, there was a lying little machine. The little machine was big enough to fit in your hand, and the little machine would tell you that the world was a terrible place and all of its problems were impossible to fix, and that there was a group of people, about half of the people that existed, who thought you were a real jerk and they hated you. They hated you so much that they wanted you dead. In fact, they wanted to kill you. And there was another half of the people, they agreed with you, but they were so mad at the first half of the people that they wanted them dead. And so the lying little machine would tell you this story about the horrible world and the horrible people all day long, 24/7. Well, every once in a while, the lying little machine would get forgotten. It would get left on the kitchen counter, or hidden in the bottom of a purse, or deep in a pocket, or just forgotten altogether. And every once in a while, you'd open up the front door of your house, and you'd decide to take your dogs for a walk. And outside, you'd find that there were sidewalks and grass and houses and cars and people. And you'd walk around and perhaps you'd have a little chat with someone. But you wouldn't talk about the lying little machine most of the time. Actually, this person, why, she had a beautiful rose garden, and she was growing tomatoes much bigger than yours. And you'd ask her some questions about, well, your seeds didn't start off right this year, and you couldn't get your tomatoes to grow, and could you help me? And she was the nicest lady, and she would show you all about her tomatoes and all about how her garden grew. Now, what you didn't know was that this lady belonged to the other group, the group who hated you and wanted you dead. Why, how would you know that if all you talked about was the tomatoes? So anyway, sometimes you'd go for a walk in nature in a forest. Or you just sit out on your porch and drink your coffee and listen to the birds. Oh, there's so many birds. They don't know anything about the lying little machine. And after a while, you'd start to feel better. Well, if you knew that the lying little machine was lying to you all the time, it never told you about the people with the tomatoes, or the forest, or the little cars and the houses and walking your dogs. It never said anything about that. All it ever talked about was how rotten the world was and how everybody wanted to kill you. Well, how much time would you really spend on the lying little machine anyway in your hand? An hour? 2 hours? Half a day? The whole day long? Or maybe one day you just take that lying little machine and why, you throw it right down the toilet. And that, my friends, is the parable of the lying little machine.